Hello, scholars. Welcome to our work today on Balto of the Blue Dawn, Chapter 5. Here are vocabulary words that we are going to read, encounter, come across in our reading today. The first one, we probably know some things about this, snowdrift. A snowdrift is a bank of steep snow heaped by the wind. So it's not a snow pile, right, where a snow plow or a snow blower has made a big pile of snow, but it's just a big, steep snow pile made by the wind, right? As the wind is blowing, it has created this big drift of snow. You've maybe seen a snow drift if you've been out in open spaces at all in the winter. The second word is incline. An incline is a road or trail going at an upward angle. You can see in this picture, there's a steep incline, right? An upward angle to this trail that the person is climbing, an incline. Then lastly, yelped. Yelped is a short cry of pain or alarm. If you let out a yelp, right, you're crying out in pain or alarm, right, or fear, right, a yelp. So let's find out today who yelped and why. That brings us to our work today for chapter 5. So this is the time for you to pause this video and click on the other video in the post to hear me read chapter 5, or just pause this video and read chapter 5 with someone in your family or to yourself. Don't continue this video until after you're finished with chapter 5. All right, now that you're finished with chapter 5, you've listened to it, read it with someone, or read it to yourself, you are ready for some packet work. Join me on page 13 and 14 of the packet. Looking at a couple of the questions in your packet for chapter 5, which is pages 13 and 14, we're going to look at this cause and effect question right here. So this time we're being given the cause and we need to figure out the effect. So remember, the effect is what happened. The cause is why it happened. So this time we know the cause. The storm arrived. Jack's glasses get covered by freezing snowflakes. So scholars, what we want to think is what happened because of that, right? So we can even think, because Jack's glasses get covered by freezing snowflakes, boom. If you go to the book with me and look at page 56 of our chapter, right, this first paragraph, right, snowflakes began to freeze on the lenses of Jack's glasses. So we're thinking, what happened because of that? Soon, he couldn't see well enough to give commands to the dogs. So that's what happened. That's the effect. That's what happened because he couldn't, because his glasses got covered by snow. So let's write for our effect, right? He could not see to give commands to the dogs. All right? So that's the effect. That's what happened because his glasses got covered with snowflakes. So we wrote the effect, the what happened because of that. Nice job. Now, scholars, we're going to look at one more question, but it's on the other page. So before we turn the page, make sure you go back to this one and do the reflect question. You're going to have to read and look in the chapter, right? Fill in the commands or the purpose, right? What's the purpose to saying good dogs? Right? So work on that. You'll find all that in the chapter. And then this vocabulary, right? Beautiful. Just to help you remember synonyms and antonyms, Synonyms, remember, mean the same, and antonyms are opposites. So a synonym means the same, antonym means the opposite. All right, that way you have that information all set as you finish those two. Turning the page, we're going to look at this figurative language question as well. Right? There is a figurative language, right, poster in the resources section, but we'll go ahead and take a quick look at this together. Write the type of figurative language used in the following Chapter 5 excerpt. So here's a quote from Chapter 5. The creaking of the sled basket and the swish of the smooth wooden runners over the snow. There are two key words there for us scholars, creaking and swish. Right? Those are words that sound like the word, right? Creaking sounds like creaking, and swish sounds like the sound of swishing. Creaking and swish. We call that an onomatopoeia. Right? It's right here for spelling, because that could be a tough one. So an onomatopoeia, remember, is a word that sounds like the word, like buzz, right? The word buzz sounds like buzzing, creaking, swish, right? Flush sounds like a flushing sound. Those are called onomatopoeias, right? Then that leaves you scholars on this page, reread to clarify, and the infer question. So today's work, scholars, only has 2 pages to submit, 2 photos, page 13 and page 14. All right. So that means, scholars, you are ready to finish your work for Chapter 5. Go back through that packet and do the rest of the questions that I just highlighted. Make sure you've answered everything on pages 13 and 14, and then send in photos of those 2 pages, 13 and 14. That is today's graded assignment. Thanks for joining me again today.